So I'm excited to be up here today. I have the honor of introducing our next speaker, someone who's very special to, I think, many of us here, Debbie. So I've known Debbie for a few years now, and anyone who's met her will know this. She's got a lot of different qualities about her. But the one that really stands out to me is Debbie is a connector. She connects with people. I felt like I connected with her the first time I met her, and she's connecting all of us together today. So thank you for that, Debbie. So a little bit about Debbie. Debbie is the heartbeat of DTS Lifestyles, where numbers soften into stories and wealth unfolds as a dance of essence, sufficiency, and joy. Her jubilation plan and joy bubbles invite clients to see their lives not as balance sheets, but as gardens, nourished by clarity, tended with intention, and blossoming with possibility. Through today's event, Enrich and Refine, she weaves the threads of financial wisdom and personal renewal, showing that true wealth is not what we hold, but how we live. In her own days, Debbie finds rhythm in morning walks with her dog Banks, spaciousness in free flow, and inspiration in the laughter of her daughters, Signe, Greta, and Lane. So let's give a warm welcome to Debbie.
You can find a piece of you that you've been hiding. You've been hiding. What if you chase your heart out to the edge? Rewrite your stars and be brave.
Hello, everyone. I've just had the most amazing experience so far today, and I'm just so grateful that everyone's here sharing their energy, and there is so much empty space. And Gail invited us all to face our fears. And the first time that I spoke in public in front of a group of financial advisors was about 2 and a bit years ago. And I was not going to this conference in Palm Springs in January, and then December 15th hit, and it was minus 30, and I was like, I'm going. That's it, I'm out of here. I said I wasn't going, I'm going. So it was a very short time between deciding to go and being there early January. And so Amy Bell, where's Amy? Where's Amy? There's Amy. Amy Bell reached out to me and she said, oh, I see you're coming to the VPI conference in Palm Springs. Well, we want you to talk. We want you to be on stage. And I was like, oh shit, this is not something I've ever done. Terrified. Amy was like me to Gail, oh, no big deal. I'm just gonna ask you some questions, like it's gonna be just a little fireside chat. And so anyways, the topic was grow. How did I grow my business in 2022? And I had no idea on numbers, never paid attention to how much business I was bringing in. That's just not how I look at my business. And so literally arrived in Palm Springs. Amy and I chatted very little, just like throwing some ideas around. And I thought, I don't really like this word grow. I'm not comfortable with it. And so because I signed up super late to go to the conference, the hotel was full and I didn't have a place to stay for the first couple of nights. And I thought, oh, I've got a cousin in Palm Springs and I'm just gonna give him a call. Maybe I can stay at his place. So he gave him a call. He said, oh, absolutely no problem. Come and stay with me. And he's like, what's even better is you'll have my place to yourself because my wife and I are going to Cabo on Friday and I was arriving Thursday on the direct flight. So here I am in Palm Springs in my cousin's place by myself, which is a very rare thing. At this stage of my life, having raised 3 daughters, I mean, I wasn't alone very often. And so I woke up on the Saturday night, I was still a little bit uncomfortable with what we were talking about, and I woke up and I stayed in bed, and all of a sudden, grow came to me. And grow, for me, G stands for gather, R stands for reflect, O stands for outsource, and W stands for warrior to warrior. And so that grow just appeared, and I was like, oh, thank you, wherever this came from, I now know what grow means to me, and it's actually transformed my life, my business, everything. So these 4 words for grow have been very instrumental in the change. And so anyways, Amy and I got on stage, showed them the grow slide, everyone was like, oh, we just love the W, worrier to warrior. And so our business is about, we want people to move from worrier to warrior every time we meet with them, because warriors are courageous. Warriors don't get derailed by the news. Warriors they stay on track, right? They don't believe everything that comes across the news feed, and we all know that there's a lot of fear in the news. And so at this conference, this was presented, and this was a pivotal change for me. So this came up, Greg Philman presented it. We've tweaked it a bit for our own business, but so everyone just take a few seconds here and look at this slide. And we use this with our clients often. And so for me, where my eyes went was my age. So right away, I went, oh, I was 53 at the time, and I thought, holy shit, I am almost in the sweet spot of my health and wealth colliding at 53. And I had never thought about this before until I saw this slide. And I thought, I gotta get busy. I gotta start doing the things that I wanna do in life. And, none of us know when we're going. So this is a pivotal slide for me. I love it. And the other thing that really stood out for me is most of us believe, we are told, what we hear is that you're going to run out of money as you age. For the average Canadian, as you can see here, you have more money as you age, not less. It's the complete opposite of what everyone believes. And I thought, how have I been in this industry this long and I believe this shit? Like, I actually believed this, and I was terrified to run out of money, and I needed to save and do all the things, the RRSPs, the TFSAs, whatever you want to call it. And it was like, actually, I want to live where my health and wealth collide at the most perfect time. And so anyways, back to subtraction. So I also read a book called Subtract that really impacted my life. The author is Leidy Klotz, if anyone wants to read it. And it's much more difficult to subtract than to add. And I started thinking about this in my life, and that, I had so many things, and yet if I was like, oh, there's a wedding, in a couple of weeks, I would go and buy a dress for the wedding because it was easier to buy than to go home and look through all the multitude of dresses I had with 3 daughters, let me remind you. There's a lot of clothes in the house. Some people here are staying with me, so they can attest. And it's more difficult to subtract than to add. And so this just kept coming to me, like this whole subtraction thing. Why don't we consider subtraction and addition in every decision we make? And so then back to the slide, and then I started thinking, what was the first big subtraction in my life? And the first big subtraction in my life was I lost my cousin Kirsten when she was 15 and I was 17. So that's a subtraction in my life. This was someone that I carpooled to school with every single day. And she went to Hawaii for Christmas. I remember being so jealous of their family that they got to go on a hot vacation. We always went skiing. When we drove, they were flying to Hawaii, and it was just like, a little bit of envy there. And so Kirsten never came home from Hawaii. She had an allergic reaction there and passed away. And that really impacted me. I don't think I realized until I started reflecting back in the last 2 years, really thinking about who am I? What is my purpose? So anyways, thinking about subtraction, and then I started thinking about all the friends that I've lost and what age did they go. And a lot of people don't get to live to 55, never mind later, but I'm very fortunate. I want to experience joy. And what I didn't realize when my cousin Kirsten died is that she was with me this whole time. I had no clue that someone that had graduated to the next life was still here in spirit. And to me, inspiration means in spirit. So to think I went all those years not realizing that these are guardian angels that we lose or that graduate to the next life. They're not lost, they're here, they're just here in spirit. And it's a beautiful awakening when you realize that everyone you've lost and miss is actually here just in spirit. And it's like the universe is so generous and we have so much support. There's a universal support system for all of us if we can just be still long enough and give time to listen and things come. And since my experience in Palm Springs with Grow, I have been flooded with the most beautiful poetry, things about my business, new language that I've been able to adopt, and I'm so very grateful. So this is my radiance. This is Gene Key 31, and whoever has done the sessions, I know there's still 2 more coming, but on your card, everyone has their radiance. Has everyone read the inside of their name tag now? So this is my radiance, Gene Key 31, and there is only one other person here in attendance that has the same radiance gene key as me, and Amanda and I met 2 months ago, I think. So Amanda and Deb run Open Concept Yoga, which is a place I love, and I feel the community is so welcoming. I'm inspired every time I go there by who runs the company, the teachers, the people, the community. And so when I met Amanda, I had to read them their gene keys. Anyone that knows me, I've read over 100 people their gene keys. The gene keys I love. I think it's super fun to think that we were baked the minute we were born allows me to drop my shoulders like 4 inches. It's like there's nothing to do, only to be. So if Amanda wouldn't mind reading me my gene keys, because I don't want to read my own, and she's got the same one on her card. Do you want to come up here? I just threw this at Amanda yesterday. Oh, today, sorry, this morning. Perfect.
Okay. Radiance for you is about recognition. When those who resonate with your message hear your voice, you really begin to shine. You cannot make people recognize you. You have to wait for the right timing. The more effort you expend, the further away from yourself you will move. Your health and well-being is highly dependent upon your self-expression. Are you doing the thing you really love? Are you reaching people? Are you shining? These are all natural byproducts of your being in the flow of life. Above all, you are here to exert your positive influence over others, whatever medium you use to convey it. Your gift is to help them find their own inner flow with life. If you cannot be of service to the world and to others, you cannot really glow with vitality. Your ideal environment in this regard is to be part of a team where your specific gifts are well recognized and respected.
Thank you. Thanks so much. So we share this gene key, so I know I can get Amanda involved if we do this again. But no, I want to thank everyone for showing up today, because I do feel elated, I feel energized, I feel full of vitality, bringing everyone together to share in what has really impacted my life in a super positive way. And so I want us all to be radiant. Who doesn't want to be radiant? Who doesn't want to glow with vitality? But we are all completely different. And so to spend time in stillness, getting to know yourself, getting real with how your life has unfolded, reflecting back, gather, gather isn't just to gather with others, it's to gather your own thoughts and to learn about who are you and why are you here and what is your purpose. And so the gene keys have been instrumental for me in the last 1.5 years. And where's Amber? Here's Amber. So Amber and I, we FaceTime here and there, not as often as I'd like. But at the end of a FaceTime call, January of 2024, she said to me, right at the end of our hour chat, she's like, "Have you heard of the gene keys?" And I said, no. She goes, oh, I'll send you a podcast. I don't listen to podcasts. People send me stuff all the time. I never take the time to listen to it because I'm too busy. And so for some reason, I went home that night and I listened to the podcast that she sent me. It was 2.5 hours, and I was enraptured by it. I was like, I love these gene keys. What even is this? And so since then, I've been studying the gene keys. My sister Marcy and I spent a ton of time at the lake this past summer on the dock with our big gene key book. And you know what? It's fun to try new things. And today, I hope, is a bunch of firsts for many of you. I believe if we say many firsts over and over again as fast as you can, it turns into manifest. So many firsts. I hear manifest. Not everyone does. I've tried this with people. But whatever, it's my story. So the first change in our business came when I would be talking to someone and I'm like, oh, what are you up to? And they would say they're retired, but then they would list everything they're doing. So it was always like, I'm retired, but I'm doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I started like seeing this pattern with clients, with whoever was retired. And I thought, what is it with this word retired? And then I realized, well, the word tired is in retired. Who would want to be tired after they've worked their whole effing lives to build this wealth? And this is where you get to, and this is what you're doing? Like, no. So anyways, what came across my computer screen one day on Google was, well, in Brazil, it's called jubilation. Retirement is jubilation. Who wouldn't want that? Right? Who would want to be tired with money instead of reaching a state of jubilation? So we subtracted retired from our business language, and we don't use it. It's just not a word we use anymore. We use jubilation. And it literally, changing language changes behavior and changes how people think about their health and wealth and well-being. And so this is a funny one. So this Enrich and Refine. So Enrich came to me. I have visited Rancho La Puerta now, I think 5 times. It's a wellness retreat in Tecate, Mexico. It's where David and I met. And Deborah, who is one of the founders of the ranch, my first visit, she turned 101. And she still meets with the guests every week. And what she said, people always ask her, oh, how did you get to this age? Of course, the common question. And it's never just one thing. But she did share that every 5 years, she reevaluates her friends and only keeps the ones that enrich her life. And so this is where enrich, the word enrich comes from. Okay, I didn't expect that kind of response, but whatever, let's keep going. And then I was out for dinner with my friend Tina, who owns Muse. She's not here today, unfortunately, but she sponsored the event, and she said, and refine. And so that's how the word enrich and refine came to be, is just out for dinner, like that's what we're gonna call it. And then when Maddie, who worked on all the marketing for us, did the logo, she's like, oh, I don't know if you like this, but it's like ER. And I was like, oh, I actually really like that. Who would rather be here or in the ER? So I believe we want more healthy humans, not more time in the ER, not more doctors, not more hospital rooms, not more beds. We want more healthy humans. So thank you for being here, because I'm hoping at the end of this day, everyone's gonna feel inspired to take back their own health and live a long life in health, in good health, with wealth. Oh, I need to go back one. Can someone help me go back one? Oh, here we go. Oh, turn the whole thing off. Okay, I'm good. Okay, so I'm again talking about language. I almost feel like I'm using equations with words. So I feel like I'm almost looking at words and dividing the word and figuring out where's the root of this word. So this is really impacts me when I look at words this way. We are the rich in enrich. We are the heal in health. We are the fine in refine. We are the we in wealth. We are the source in outsource. And so when I look at language, it makes me again realize I am spirit. I am not just here doing, I am being. My soul has lived many lives. I believe that completely. But we also have to subtract. We cannot just add. So again, this is addition. It's really easy to add. We need to subtract. So then I'm like, what am I going to subtract? We are not the lone in alone. We are not the tired in retired. We are not the strict in constricted. We are not the strain in restrained. We are not the pace in space. So I encourage everyone. So for me, the words ER, then I started thinking, wouldn't it be fabulous if everyone here came up with what does ER mean to you? So our word is enrich and refine. Mine ended up being energy renewed. So when I think of like, what is my ER? Energy renewed. Where's Eden? Eden, what's yours? Say it louder. Ethereal realm is Eden's. So if everyone could spend some time thinking about what yours would be, and let's keep this Instagram for Enrich and Refine going and share what your ER is. I would love that. And then this is getting closer to the end. So Molly, who's here, if anyone's done the exquisite being outbreak or breakout. See, he changed the word. It's crazy. So Molly, we met at the ranch last June, and we somehow just had a look at each other, and we both knew we were into the Gene Keys. Can't even explain it. So she was like, oh, I'm going to go to the Gene Keys weekend at Gaia in September. And we stayed in contact, and I talked to Marcy, and she's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go another first. I just want collect firsts. So we went to Gaia, and Molly brought me a deck of cards. And I've never been given a deck of cards as a gift. And so I ended up sending them home with Marcy, completely forgot about them. In September, she came home for Christmas, and she's like, oh, here's your cards. Oh, right, Molly gave me cards, great. Okay, well, like any investment, I start with myself. I'm not going to invest a client's money in something I'm not invested in. So I thought, I guess I do my own card reading. So I actually read instructions, which I very rarely do. And I did my card reading, and the card that I got was allowance. And it was a beautiful card. They're called sacred geometry cards. And it was all about just allowing things to unfold in your life without judgment. It was just the most beautiful card reading. And I went to bed that night going, this is my card. And then 3 days later, I'm having a bath, and I'm like, allowance! What I used to get as a kid, it didn't even occur to me. Like the double meaning didn't even occur to me. And I'm like, oh, that's our new word in our business. It's no longer retirement income. Whenever I ask someone, how much retirement income would you need? It's a blank stare. They just look back at me like, how would I know what kind of retirement income I'm going to need when I retire? We call it allowance now. And people are overjoyed to talk about what kind of an allowance do I want to live out my jubilation years. Like, it's unbelievable. And Ariel, stand up. Ariel creates almost all the marketing for DTS Lifestyles. She is a gift. And for Enrich and Refine. So yeah, it comes from the root word allow. Allow yourself to enjoy the fruits of your hard work. Allow space for joy and fulfillment in your spending. Allow your money to serve its purpose, supporting your life and dreams. Think of your allowance as a way to pay yourself first. Live your life with intention and gratitude. And replace income with a mindset of permission to enjoy. It's literally language changes behavior. So since we've started using this word this year in 2025, we've had clients call us and say, I listened, I'm finally getting it. I'm gifting my children each $100,000 because they have mortgages and I'm paying tax on my non-registered investments. Like, this doesn't even make sense. The other word we've adopted, which I don't have a slide for, is instead of the word net worth, started like occurring to me, none of us our worth is not based on money on a page. How can we actually use that word and not really understand what it means? And so we changed the word to joy reserve. And so when clients come to see us and we say, okay, if you live to this age, this is going to be your joy reserve. And we say you get to sprinkle joy while you're here or reserve it for from when you graduate to the next life. And who wouldn't rather sprinkle joy? I love sprinkles. Like, it's simple as that. Like, you know, who wouldn't? And so we've really seen when we change language, behavior changes, and none of us know when we're going to graduate to the next life. And I think it's actually a beautiful thing to think today's the last day. So when you go to bed, this is the end. And if you wake up, it's like you get a whole new day. It's a gift, not a given. It's a beautiful saying that I got from Jen Buffett. It's a gift, not a given. And these are the joy bubbles. So when we talk about money management, we talk about joy bubbles. And really all we need to know is, when do you need the money? Do you need it in the next 1 to 2 years? Do you need it in the next 3 to 5 years, or in 5+ years? And it occurred to me, like, why was no financial advisor talking about 1 to 2 years? Well, because the banks want your money there, because you earn nothing and they lend it out and make the spread. So it's like we've been conditioned that, oh, short-term money stays in the bank. Well, once you realize who it's serving, not you, you start changing your behavior. Like, we're here to help serve you. We want to listen to what your needs are, how you want your life to unfold, how you want to live out your joy. And so enjoy, joyful, and overjoyed. We get emails from clients. Actually, Rob sent me an email once. I was so excited. And he said, oh, I just sold my place in Belize. Put 100% of it in overjoyed. Like, Amy and I were literally jumping for joy at this email. We're like, this is the coolest that people are adopting our language, and it's relatable, right? Like, I don't want to learn a new language. I don't want to go to a lawyer and have to learn the language, but we've expected that people working with financial advisors have to learn our language. No, we need to change our language to help them live a better life starting today. And then this is the last quote I'm going to leave everyone with. So Richard Rudd is the founder of the Gene Keys. Well, he considers that he receives uploads. So the power of restraint. And I hadn't actually even thought of that we are the strain. We are not the strain and restraint, but it all ties to this. The moment we try to rush an idea, we disturb the ground in which it is sown. The power of restraint is to let your life unfold without demand, not to damage the delicate buds deep within the seed or within the plant that are being born. Children contain the seed of their future, and if allowed to develop at their own pace and in their own way without interference, they will eventually flourish. It is through restraint that a human power can be harnessed in a creative way. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you so much.